The average camper van buyer in 2026 overpays by $6,000 to $12,000. Not because they're stupid, because they said the wrong thing in the first 10 minutes, and they didn't even know it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to walk into any camper van dealership in 2026 and walk out with the upper hand. Not just the negotiation, the whole process. How to research before you go, what to say, what to never say, which dealer tactics have evolved this year, and the one move that separates buyers who get a great deal from those who get quietly dismantled. The sentence that costs buyers leverage more than any other? This one. We're probably ready to buy today if the numbers work. That sentence tells a trained salesperson three things simultaneously. You've already decided emotionally, you have money available, and your resistance to price is low. You've handed them the entire negotiation before it started. Everything in this video is about making sure you never say anything that sounds like that. Whether you're buying a Ford Transit conversion, a Mercedes Sprinter build, a Ram ProMaster, or a Volkswagen California, this applies to you. The vehicles are different. The dealer psychology is identical. Section 1. The 2026 Market Reality. Let me set the stage, because the dealer environment in 2026 is not what it was in 2021 or even 2023. Post-COVID, the camper van market went through a supply drought. Dealers had leverage they hadn't seen in decades. People were paying over MSRP for vans that weren't even fully converted yet. Wait lists of 12 to 18 months were standard. That era is over. Inventory is caught up, interest rates stayed elevated longer than the industry expected, and discretionary spending in the $60,000 to $150,000 range tightened significantly. Dealers who were flush with demand 2 years ago are now sitting on units. Some are sitting on a lot of units. That means the balance of power has shifted back to the buyer, but only if you know how to use it. Here's the trap. Buyers read that inventory is up, think, great, I have leverage, walk in feeling confident, and get slowly dismantled by a salesperson who does this every single day. Confidence without preparation is not leverage, it's theater. Section 2. Before you set foot inside a dealership. The biggest mistake buyers make in 2026 is treating the dealership visit as step 1. It's step 4 or 5. Step 1. Know your number before they give you one. Every major camper van, the Transit, the Sprinter, the ProMaster, the California, has publicly available invoice pricing and real transaction data. TrueCar, RVT, and European aggregators like mobile.de give you actual sold vehicle figures, not aspirational sticker prices. You want to know what the last 5 people actually paid. If you walk in knowing a 2025 Mercedes Sprinter 144 high-roof conversion is moving at $112,000 to $118,000 in real transactions, and the sticker says $127,000, you have a specific, credible opening position before anyone says a word. Step 2. Know your non-negotiables before they reset your baseline. Dealers are trained to anchor you emotionally to a high-feature model. Once you've sat in a van with heated floors, dual-zone climate control, and a pop-top that cost $14,000 extra, everything below it feels like a compromise. Walk in with your list already written. Put it in your pocket. Don't let the showroom rewrite it. Step 3. Create competition before you arrive. Email 3 dealers before you visit one. Tell each you're ready to buy within 30 days and you're comparing pricing. Get written quotes. Now when you sit down with Dealer A, you have documentation, not just the implied threat of alternatives. Dealers respond to evidence. A printed email with a competitor's number is much harder to ignore than a bluff. Section 3. Inside the dealership. The slow yes ladder. Now you're inside, let's talk about what's happening on their side of the table. The hard sell is mostly dead. One bad review, one viral thread, and a dealership's reputation takes real damage. What replaced the hard sell is something much subtler. I call it the slow yes ladder. The salesperson gets you nodding on small things early. Yes, you love the layout. Yes, the storage is great. Yes, you can see yourself waking up in this. Each yes is a micro-commitment. By the time you reach price, you've already emotionally committed to the vehicle. Saying no to the number feels like saying no to the life, and that's psychologically painful. The counter is simple, but you have to practice it. Stay operationally curious, not emotionally invested. Stay in problem-solving mode. The moment you start describing where you'll park on your first trip, stop. That's their territory. Stay in the numbers. The finance office is the second battlefield. This is where dealerships often make more margin than they do on the van itself. Extended warranties, gap insurance, add-on protection packages, all presented quickly, all designed to feel trivial as monthly increments, while adding $6,000 to $15,000 to the back end of the deal. Tell them up front, I'll consider any product on its merits, but I'll need 24 hours to research it. Watch how quickly the table clears. I want to share something that happened recently because it's the clearest example I've seen of how this plays out in real life. A retired couple, both teachers, early 60s, meticulous researchers, spent 6 months studying their Sprinter purchase. They came in prepared, they negotiated $9,000 off MSRP, they were proud of it. Then they sat down in the finance office. They were tired, they were excited. The salesperson walked them through a warranty product, calmly, professionally, no pressure, and they signed for $11,500 of coverage they could have bought independently for under $3,000. They gave back every dollar they negotiated and then some in a room that felt like a formality. When they emailed me afterward, the line that stuck with me was this: "We knew better, we just didn't want to be difficult at the finish line." That feeling, not wanting to be difficult when you're almost done, is exactly what the finance office is designed to exploit. Don't let the finish line lower your guard.
Section 4. The controversial truth. Dealer builds versus independent converters. Let me stop here for a second, because this part will make some dealers genuinely uncomfortable. Here's what most campervan content won't tell you. In 2026, some dealership builds are genuinely worse in quality than independent conversions selling for 20 to 30% less, and the dealership is charging you a premium specifically for the brand label and the financing desk. The consolidation happening in the conversion industry right now means large van life brands have been acquiring smaller builders or pushing them out of retail visibility. The result? A handful of big names dominate dealership floors, while dozens of high-craft regional builders are doing cleaner work with better materials, shorter lead times, and no finance office to add $10,000 to the back end. Now, the trade-off is real. Independent converters don't have the same warranty umbrella. Financing is more complex. Resale is a harder conversation at the curb. For buyers who want plug-and-play simplicity and a recognizable brand, the dealership route is legitimately the right call. But for full-time van lifers, for anyone building a rig to own for 7 to 10 years, the independent converter market is significantly underpriced right now for the quality on offer. The dealership isn't your only option. In 2026, it might not even be your best one. Section 5. Negotiation mechanics that actually work. Anchor below your real number, credibly, not insultingly. If your target is $108,000, open at $100,000, not $90,000. That signals you don't understand the market. A credible anchor forces a counter that reveals their actual floor. You learn more from how they respond than from anything they volunteer. Negotiate the out-the-door price, nothing else. Monthly payment negotiation is how dealers hide margin. A small monthly increase plus a 6-month loan extension can cost you $4,000 extra without you feeling it in the moment. Total price, out the door, all fees before financing is ever discussed. Use the calm walkout. Standing up and saying, "I appreciate your time, I need to think on this," not theatrically, not angrily, just matter-of-factly, unlocks price movement that nothing else does. Salespeople are trained for the emotional walkout. They are not trained for the calm, professional one. It signals genuine patience and genuine alternatives. That combination is more powerful than anger. Use end-of-quarter timing. The end of business days of March, June, September, and December are when dealers need to hit quota. A Tuesday visit in the last week of September is a structurally different conversation than a Saturday in early July. If you have timing flexibility, use it deliberately. Section 6. Red flags that should make you walk away. Walk away if a dealer won't itemize every fee on the out-the-door price. Resistance to transparency is not a style preference, it's a warning. Walk away if a dealer won't allow a pre-purchase inspection on a used conversion. A PPI costs $200 to $400. It regularly saves buyers $4,000 to $15,000. Any dealer who resists this is hiding something specific. Walk away if the salesperson returns to monthly payments after you've redirected twice. Once is a style, twice is a trained behavior. Trained behavior is a tell. Walk away if the warranty is underwritten by a company you can't independently verify. Ask for the warranty administrator's name. Google them. Read the denial clause section before signing. Some of these products are structured to deny the exact claims that actually cost money. Section 7. Use the post-sale relationship as leverage. Here's something buyers almost never use and dealers absolutely count on. When you're negotiating, the dealer is calculating your lifetime value, service, accessories, future purchases, referrals. A loyal van service customer is worth $4,000 to $6,000 per year in post-sale revenue beyond the initial transaction. State this explicitly. I plan to service this van here, buy parts through your department, and if the experience is right, I send people your way. That relationship has real value to you. I'd like that reflected in today's deal. This converts the conversation from a single transaction into a multi-year business relationship. Many dealers will move on price because they're also buying your loyalty, and if they won't move at all, you've just learned something important about how much they actually value long-term customers. Buy from a dealership if you want a single warranty umbrella, built-in financing, a recognizable brand for resale, and a turnkey process without coordinating multiple vendors. If you're buying a Volkswagen California, an Airstream Interstate, or a top-tier Thor, the dealership channel is designed for that purchase. Pay for the convenience, negotiate hard on the number. Look elsewhere if you're budget-conscious, want specs beyond dealer stock, are buying a base Transit or Sprinter for a phased conversion, or are a full-time van lifer building for the long haul. The independent converter market, private resale, and CPO channels will typically deliver 15 to 25% better value for comparable or superior quality. The dealership isn't the enemy, but it is a profit-optimized environment with trained professionals on one side of the table. Walking in as if it's a neutral transaction is how people spend more than they should. Here's my final take, and I'm not going to soften it. If you can't walk away from a van you love, you're not ready to buy it. That's not a mindset tip, that's the entire game. The buyer who walks in without urgency holds more power than any tactic I can hand you. But the moment you fall in love in the showroom, the moment you picture your first night parked somewhere beautiful, you've transferred that power back across the table. Do the research, get the competing quotes, get the pre-purchase inspection, then walk in calm, informed, and genuinely willing to leave. That's not just how you get a better deal, that's how you get the right van. Here's a question I want you to answer in the comments, and I'll be reading every one. Would you rather negotiate hard with a dealership and fight for every dollar, or skip the finance office entirely and build with an independent converter? Dealer or independent? Tell me which side you're on and why, because the answer you give tells me exactly what your next video should be, and I'll make it.